Day 4 of Saints training camp is in the books, and from the sounds of it, the offense was pretty spotty and inconsistent, while the defense had themselves a pretty nice day from Chase Young and Carl Granderson. But this also includes rookie linebacker Danny Stutsman, who has been making plays and standing out in a very impressive way, only 4 days into camp. What's the latest on the Saints quarterback battle between Rattler, Shuck, and even Jay Kaner? The Saints' new medical director has nothing but positive feedback from the players who, to this point, have been staying relatively healthy. And we're here to break that all down in today's video. I'm Cash, and you should take 5 seconds to like the video and subscribe to help support the channel. We're trying to reach 15,000 subscribers by the end of the year. We're currently about to hit 12.6 subscribers, 12.6 thousand. Shout out to you guys. You guys are awesome. Help me reach my goal. In return, you'll get Saints and NFL daily content almost basically every single day. You help me, I help you. You get content and you help the channel grow. And with all that being said, let's dive into it. Typically, we start these training camp videos talking about the Saints quarterback battle, but as you can tell from the title and thumbnail of the video, this isn't necessarily about them. So we're going to start off by talking about Saints rookie linebacker Danny Stutsman, who's been standing out quite a bit for the Saints during these practices. Danny Stutsman was the Saints' first selection on day 3, taking him in the 4th round, and he could possibly be a pretty big steal for the Saints. Obviously, pads aren't on yet. He hasn't played a game yet, so that's a little overreactive and premature, but he looks really good so far. Danny Stutsman on Sunday's practice had a really nice play, getting an interception on Saints second-year quarterback Spencer Rattler during 7-on-7s. There's Rattler, and there's Stutsman making the play. Really good play from Danny Stutsman, showcasing his hops for a white boy. He got up there and made a really nice play on Spencer Rattler. We do have another angle of it right here. Here's a Rattler, throws it, and Stzman makes the really nice play. We'll get into Rattler and the throw overall in general when we do talk about the quarterbacks, but obviously not the best throw, and Stzman makes a really nice play on the ball. A really good play from Danny Stutsman, who during OTAs had a really nice pass breakup on wide receiver Cedric Wilson on Tyler Shuck, a linebacker covering a wide receiver. Really good standout moment during OTAs. He had a really big hit stick boom on one of the tight ends. It could have been Michael Jacobson, it could have been Jack Stoll. I'm not really too sure who it is, but on day 1, as you see on your screen, he had a pretty significant hit and stood out on day 1 of Saints training camp. Obviously, the big hit and the boom is what stands out, but also what stands out is his reaction time. The moment from the ball was thrown to the second he took his back step, broke on the ball, and made a nice play, reading the quarterback's eyes. It was a really nice play from Danny Stutsman, showcasing a really good reaction time, break speed, and reading the quarterback's eyes. And he's also done an excellent job showcasing his lateral movement and his athletic abilities when it comes to the run game. This is a perfect example right here. Nick Underhill posted this clip to his Twitter. Watch number 47 on this play. Here he is right here. Man in motion, that's Olave. And here he comes flying over. Obviously not in pad, so he can't make too much contact, but he's flying laterally. And that's Chris Olave. That is not an easy guy to keep up with speed-wise. And Danny Stutsman with a really nice showcase of his lateral movement and speed on one of the fastest players. I'm not going to say in the NFL, but a really speedy guy. This thing got 470,000 views on Twitter. This thing went viral. Danny Stutsman really showcasing what he can do with this lateral movement and his reaction time. A lot of positive feedback so far for the rookie linebacker. Saints head coach Kellen Moore was asked about Danny Stutsman after practice on Sunday, and he also had a lot of positive feedback for the young linebacker. Saints head coach Kellen Moore says Danny Stutsman has done an excellent job for the Saints so far. He's making consistent plays and defending routes well. One of his biggest knocks coming out of college was his pass coverage ability and being able to be a coverage linebacker and defending routes, and so far he's doing that pretty well. He got an interception today, and Kellen Moore saying something that was a weakness for him in college is something that's been standing out. Demario Davis was absent during Sunday's practice, and while Nephi Sewell got the initial starting reps with Pete Warner, Danny Stutsman also got some first-team reps as well. So he's playing with the big boys. He is starting, or at least getting starting reps with the Saints defense as a day 3 pick linebacker And that is really good to hear that one of the rookies is already shining and getting very important reps and experience in these practices. The Pats haven't even come on yet, but Danny Stutsman might already be linebacker 3 on the team behind Pete Werner and Demario Davis. But if he keeps making plays like he has been, it's going to be very hard to justify keeping Pete Werner or Demario Davis on the field over a possible young rising star and rookie linebacker Danny Stutsman. Moving on to the quarterback talk, the rotation reset today. So Spencer Rattler was with the first team, Tyler Shuck with the second team, and Jake Hanner was with the third team offense today. So the rotation basically reset to what it was on day 1 of training camp. Overall, it does sound like the quarterbacks in general, everyone just had another inconsistent and spotty day, which could be expected with a young quarterback room. Like we mentioned, Spencer Rattler threw an interception to rookie linebacker Danny Stutsman, who made a really nice leaping play up in the air and picked off the quarterback. Here is what I'm going to say about the interception. So Rattler, I see what he's trying to do. He's trying to get it back here to Cedric Wilson over the linebacker. I'm sure he didn't know that that white boy could jump that high, but you got to remember, Danny Stutsman is like communion. He's the cracker with the juice, according to his Instagram. And he just makes a really nice play. But overall, I think this is possibly the right read. I can't really tell what other reads or what routes are possibly open. But if he gets this ball a little bit higher over Danny Stutsman, it's caught maybe to Cedric Wilson. It might be the right read, but a bad throw. I can't really tell. It could be the right read, but just a bad throw overall. And Cedric Wilson is, as you can see, he's saying himself to throw a little bit higher right here, pointing up in the air. So it could be, in my opinion, I'm sure your opinion might be different, that this is the right read, just a bad throw. It does hurt Spencer Rattler's stock in this competition that is his second interception that he's thrown so far. He threw an interception on day 2 to Saints rookie cornerback Quincy Riley, and that was just a bad pass. He said he was trying to throw it away and didn't get enough power on it. Regardless, it was a bad throw, and he leads the team right now in interceptions, throwing 2 so far in 4 practices. It kind of feels like we're seeing what we saw from Spencer Rattler last year. One day he goes perfect and looks incredible, which is like the first half of games that we saw from Spencer Rattler. And then other practices, it's like, oh, he threw a pick. He didn't look as sharp. He was off timing. And that was the second half of Spencer Rattler that we saw. So he just needs to start getting more consistent. It's clear that the NFL game and speed has caught up to him, but he needs to get that consistency down. Spencer Rattler did have a pretty nice moment, though, in Sunday's practice, connecting with tight end Juwan Johnson versus the blitz for a really nice touchdown connection. Here's one angle of the touchdown connection between Rattler and Juwan Johnson. Blitz come in. Rattler gets the ball out quickly. Perfectly timed pass. Blitz coming in his face. Cam Jordan hands up. Fits it between the Jordan and number 91. And Juwan Johnson hasn't even broken out of his route yet when this ball is thrown. He hasn't even looked at Rattler. Ball is out. Hits him right in the hands and the chest, and Juwan is in for the touchdown. There is another angle of it right here. A better perspective from Rattler and where he was throwing it. This is just a really nice play from Spencer Rattler on a day where he was kind of in a little bit of a slump. Nice throw overall to Juwan Johnson. Moving on to Tyler Shuck, who got second team reps today. It feels like we haven't talked about him a whole lot, and it just kind of feels like there also isn't a whole lot being said or mentioned about him, or he's not getting a lot of reps. Today just kind of felt like he was mentioned, but there wasn't anything like too flashy going on. I will say there was quite a bit of footage of Tyler Shuck dropping back and then running today. And that's good to see that he's showcasing his athletic ability, dropping back, and that he can run. He had a few nice runs on the day, but I also don't want this to be a case where Tyler Shuck is just going to default to running. And that's kind of what it feels like from like the OTA and minicamp practices and a little bit in training camp. While he does have athletic ability, while he can run, I don't want him to start defaulting to that being what he does. Tyler Shuck did have a pretty nice play though, throwing a touchdown to running back Clyde Edwards-Helaire. We do have an angle or two of it. Here's one of them. Shuck shotgun, 7-on-7 drills, drops back and fires one into Clyde. It's kind of a tough angle, but fires one into Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Looks like there's a decent amount of traffic right there, an angle route from the veteran running back. And looks like there's quite a bit of guys there, and they ended up scoring the touchdown. Let me see if I can find another angle real quick. All right, here's another angle of it that you can see better. Takes the snap. There's Edwards-Helaire running the angle, and a really nice timed throw from Tyler Shuck to the running back, Jeff Nowak had this to say about the throw. It was one of the best throws that he saw from anyone at camp today on Sunday. It was a dart up the seam in the red zone to Clyde Edwards-Helaire. It was a really nice throw, perfectly timed. There looked to be quite a bit of traffic, and that's a timing throw that we saw similar to the one he had with Juwan Johnson the other day. You have to trust it, and it looks like he's starting to settle into practice. So that's some pretty good positive feedback for Tyler Shuck, who seemed a little bit not uneasy or uncomfortable, but just unsettled throughout the first few days of training camp. And I am going to bring this play up real quick because I feel like someone's going to comment about it, why I didn't mention it, and it is something I do want to talk about. So this tweet does say Tyler Shuck throws a low pass and it ends up incomplete, looking for Brandon Cooks. Why don't we watch the play real quick? Shotgun, low pass, dropped, incomplete. I don't think this is Tyler Shuck's fault. We gave Derek Carr crap for high passes over the middle, hospital ball, setting his guys up to get hurt. Rattler has a tendency to throw the passes a little bit high, maybe setting his guys up into bad position. And we want to see the quarterbacks protect the receiver. Why don't we slow down this a little bit? He throws it low. If he leads Brandon Cooks and say they're in pads and full speed, this guy's getting ready to light up Brandon Cooks. Or Ugo Amadi's getting ready to give Brandon Cooks a nice little hit. I'm not mad at this, and Brandon Cooks drops it. It's not a bad pass. It's protecting Brandon Cooks. And yeah, 52 to Marco Jackson, if that's a linebacker in live action speed, he's getting ready to lay out Brandon Cooks. So I don't think this is a bad pass at all. I think it's more on Cooks than it is Shuck. Just thought I'd mention it before anyone in the comments says anything about it. And finally, for Jake Kanner, who got reps with the third-team offense, had a pretty nice day from the sounds of it. He had a really nice touchdown pass to undrafted free agent rookie wide receiver Moochie Dixon, as you see on your screen. He found Chris Olave for a really good gain on a comeback route, which, I mean, if you're playing against the third team and you got Chris Olave on your offense, you might as well just throw to him every single play. That's a cheat code. But I think what stood out the most from Jake Kanner's day is that he had a really, really good touchdown pass to Bub Means, timing it perfectly, fitting it between the zone coverage. It was a really nice play. Here's the touchdown though to Bub Means, drops back and found him. Really good timing in the open zone. It is against a third team defense, but still a good play is a good play regardless. I also do want to bring this play up real quick. Jake Kanner's at quarterback here, but this is more Rashid Shaheed bailing him out. And man, Rashid Shaheed said he gained 10 pounds to kind of help with his game plan and his expanded role in the offense. And this catch is really, really good from Shaheed. Why don't we just watch him here? Here he is over here. Nice little inverse whip route. Beats his man. Bad throw. And look at this catch that he makes. What a freaking catch from Rashid Shaheed. I just wanted to pull this up. Bad throw from Haener. Should have let him more inside. But what a freaking catch from Rashid Shaheed. So there was some good moments for Jake Kanner, but there was also quite a bit of low moments in this practice as well. Who, as you see on your screen, had a mix-up with a running back on this play. Not exactly too sure what happened or whose fault it is for the mix-up, but it's not a good look at all when you can't get off a handoff correctly. Jake Kanner also threw an interception to newly signed safety Julian Blackman during the indoor portion of practice. They went indoors for the final period because of the heat. It was too hot, so there's no footage of it. But Saints quarterback Jake Kanner threw an interception to the newly signed safety Julian Blackman, looking for wide receiver Chris Tyree, the rookie undrafted free agent. So overall, it sounds like it was more of a down day for the quarterbacks and a rough practice in general for the position group. Hopefully they can come back and bounce back tomorrow from these mistakes and have a short-term memory. Some other quick little notes and such from Sunday's practice. Attendance-wise, Taysom Hill, there's a little update here. He was working off to the side with the trainer in his jersey for the first time they've seen this offseason. Obviously was not practicing because he tore his ACL and you just can't speed up that recovery process. Foster Moreau still not practicing. So those two same guys were not practicing, but Saints linebacker Demario Davis did not practice. Kellen Moore said he has an excused absence. Not too sure why he was not there, but Demario Davis was the only new addition. A lot of guys staying healthy and a lot of guys not being absent is a positive feedback, because health has been a big concern for the Saints and has been a big issue over the past few years. So shout out to Ted Rath, who the players have a lot of positive feedback and praise for to this point. Saints tight end Juwan Johnson had a lot of praise for Ted Rath, who said he's never felt this good after 3 days of camp. They've been doing a lot of work in the medical staff to make sure that injuries are prevented as much as possible. Saints center Eric McCoy also had a lot of positive feedback for Ted Rath, saying he spent a big chunk of the offseason in rehab from the plagued 2024 injured season, and he very much appreciates Ted Rath and how this team has set things up into the season. And he says this is the best his body's felt 4 days into camp since high school. That's a pretty significant statement right there. Saints running back Kendre Miller said this is the healthiest he's been since entering the NFL in 2023. He feels great now. He's 100%. He's leaner and expects to play around 215, 218. And this has just been a consistent thing several players have mentioned this week, is that the several hours long break they get after practice that is significantly and specifically intended for recovery. So the Saints are staying healthy. Ted Rath is doing his thing, making sure the guys are doing everything they can to make sure they have their guys out there practicing. Ross Jackson says that Chase Young and Carl Granderson were both constantly in the backfield and making plays in the pass rush and run game, and were probably the best players on the field in Sunday's practice as they are disruptive. And the final little note we got here is that Charlie Smith went 3 of 5 kicking today, missing from 41 and 46. So Charlie Smith has now made 50% of his kicks, while Blake Grupe has made 90% of his kicks in this kicker competition. That does it for day 4 of Saints training camp. Let me know your biggest takeaway down in the comments below. Tomorrow is the first day of full pads. Excited to see how the offense and defensive lines look. Make sure to like and subscribe, help support the channel. I'm Cash, and I'll catch you next time. Have a good one.